I've done every drug in the book. I started using heroin at the age of 18. I loved heroin and meth together, even though it doesn't make much sense. They're complete opposites, but we call them goofballs, and I just loved going up and down all day long, and I started just getting into the whole crime underground world, I'm not this crazy mafioso guy, but I started going to prison because of drug addiction, Yeah. And my first time I landed on the yard in California at the age of 21.
You can hear my That's the only thing I don't like. Every once in a while I'll be listening to the...
Yeah, and I go away.
Don't do
still
that.
Hear it.
This is actually, we're already live, dude, so stop.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes I'll be playing VR and I'll
I forgot he was even here. We were talking. I forgot we even had a fucking guest. Hey, bro, welcome back, man. How you doing? I'm Shane.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Chaddick with 4 T's on Instagram if you want to get in touch with the big dog.
Good.
Anyway, sometimes I'll be on VR and I'll be doing like an online, like playing poker on VR.
Yeah.
And I'll joke around. I'll be like, act like I'm doing a big rail.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, that's right, bro.
Yeah. It's a fun time. I was in a, never mind. I was in a dispensary
you were going to talk about the closet again?
No, I went in to get
the last time you said
resin cart.
Never mind. It was about the closet. You were coming out of the closet.
I'm out already.
Every time.
A lot more room out here.
A lot more room out here. It's way healthier.
We have this one clip on Instagram. He's like.
There we go. Chad will be gone for 30 seconds. Now we can continue. He'll be fine, but we got a minute now.
That's a good one.
The stalls at the symposium felt like you were in the closet too. That they were so little. I was elbowing.
Oh my God! Did you go to the bathroom?
Yes. Yeah. Actually, I walked around to the other bathroom.
So was there a better one? Because
mine. That one seemed pretty.
You can't fit in there. In the
right.
Yeah, you can't fit in there. And then I
would talk to everybody about it.
So did I. Because what happened was I got in.
I had to put my foot on the other side.
There was someone in the big stall because the one right after the baby one was a little wider. Someone was there. Then there was someone missing. Then a third person there. And I went 3 down and I looked and I said, wouldn't it be nice if I went in between the two guys? Just for fun?
Yeah.
Fuck. Nice.
Yeah.
For content.
Okay, you ready? I got to do our intro.
Okay.
All right, today's guest.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Hopeaholics Podcast. Today we have fuck fentanyl.
Yeah.
Oh, you can say fuck fentanyl. Oh yeah, you know what? Say it to the.
You're allowed to cuss on here, huh?
Yeah.
Fuck fentanyl.
Nice.
There we go.
For real though. Fuck fentanyl. What's happening, man?
We had a couple nasty losses on fentanyl this last 6-7 months.
Yeah, 9 months.
Yeah, 9 months.
My son-in-law and then our buddy.
Yeah.
Our good buddy.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Not easy.
We're getting that kind of news at least a couple times a week lately. It's just horrible, man.
Yeah.
Not even people on it are dying.
Yeah.
They're cutting it and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
we had a 65-year-old vet. I was on the phone with him. He disappeared for like a week. I said, bro, where were you? He said, I overdosed. I said, you only smoke weed and drink. What do you mean you overdosed? He said, yeah, my weed was laced with fentanyl.
Wow.
I hit the floor like a fucking rock. They had to shoot me, and I woke up.
I've been curious about the weed thing.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to find, I want to get some numbers on people that are actually dying from smoking weed.
And smoking weed.
Overdosing on fentanyl. That's insane. It's a war. It's an epidemic. It's not cool.
Yeah. It's a poisoning.
Absolutely, and I'm not sure how far that rabbit hole goes with fentanyl.
Pretty far.
It goes pretty far.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I also truly believe that there might be a great awakening from this, because now it's like if you play games with drugs, you can literally die that day.
Yeah.
It might turn it into a positive, hopefully down the road.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do see that also happening, but the reason I started this group on Facebook, Fuck Fentanyl, a couple of our good friends died back to back in the same week. That was really close to me. And and a lot of my friends. And it just hit me one day. I literally just found myself crying uncontrollably from like the emotions involved with this fentanyl epidemic. And like, you don't have the luxury to relapse anymore if you're an addict. You can die from one relapse. And a lot of that has happened to a lot of my friends. And I was just like, I was feeling this anger inside where I'm like, you know, a lot of my family and friends have died from this shit. I'm like, you know what, man, fuck fentanyl, man. This is unbelievable that how many people are losing their lives when back in the day it was like, yeah, homeboy relapsed, you know, hopefully we'll see him in a couple of months, right? And now it's like you play games now and you can definitely die. So
what, Mike, a little closer?
Yeah. There we go.
All right. We good?
How'd it feel?
What's that?
Nothing. Yeah, bro, you could die just like that. And you know what we were talking, the term recreational drug use? I mean, there's no such fucking
doesn't
thing
exist
anymore.
anymore.
It does not exist.
Yeah, the people that are dying, like, you know, a lot of the biggest numbers are 16 to 28-year-olds, right? But it's like a lot of them are not even addicts.
Yeah.
They're people
That's
that
insane.
have, you know, trying an ecstasy pill.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I'm going to go to a rave and I'm taking ecstasy. You're not.
Xanax.
You're not.
Yeah,
You're
right.
It's not Xanax.
Yeah.
It's not.
Anything
nothing on the
anything
street.
that you buy off the streets is not what you think it is.
These meth heads that are gouged out now.
Oh, yeah, meth.
They think they're tweaking and they're taking fentanyl. It's
No.
insane.
Right?
It doesn't sound very fun.
No.
Yeah. Well, give us the quick version of your life story. I don't really like to stay in the addiction too long because it's like I'm like kind of like, what are we doing today? You know.
Sure.
But it's relatable for people that are struggling.
Absolutely.
To know that, you know, you can be struggling and come out of it and get to a good place.
I'll hit some solid bullet points on my story that'll help me qualify.
Yeah.
Real quick. I'm born and raised in Orange County. I grew up in Santa Ana, and good family. You know, I don't have these like traumatic childhood stories where you're like, oh, I understand why you get high. You know, mom and dad were still together. Whole family, you know, party hard, go back to work on Monday, and big Irish family. And I just remember a lot of voices were loud in my head as a very young child. I was doing a lot of things that I don't think normal kids were doing, you know, like throwing rocks at cars, trying to derail trains, trying to light my neighbor's house on fire.
Normal stuff.
Punching kids in the face at 5 years old.
Right.
It's like getting in full riots, melees in second grade.
80s.
Yeah. And, you know, normal kid things that kids do. And I remember drinking my first beer at the age of 11. And then a few beers into it, I remember my head finally quieting down, right? And I thought, man, whatever this is the answer for me. And started smoking weed. Did my first line of meth when I was 13, back when meth was real in the 90s.
It was you, eh?
Yeah, same with
Same
me.
with Chad, 13.
Big red rail.
Yeah.
And back when it was biker crank.
Yeah.
And and it was just on from there.
Yeah.
My first rail, I can literally remember every second of that. And it was like, this is amazing. Yeah. And I was just a gnarly meth head throughout the 90s, getting into all the underground stuff going on back then, right? Watching, you know, my friends were either cooking meth or in the porn industry or, you know, escorts, right?
Yeah.
All the identity theft, credit card, all that fun stuff.
The cell phones.
Beep
pagers.
All of that.
I mean, you could get the pagers and you could clone those too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Washing checks.
Cloning everything.
Yeah. Everything
was
like, everything was like underground.
Drugs were a felony. I mean, badass, right?
Absolutely. We were like, if you were a drug addict, you were an outlaw in that time, right?
Yep.
And
did you have older brothers?
No, I have two younger brothers.
2 younger. So at 13, how'd you find
my neighbor?
Oh shit!
My neighbor across the street was 18.
Yeah,
and all of his buddies. Yeah. I remember going over to when I first moved into that house at the age of 6 years old, and they said, "How old are you, kid?" And I said, "I'm 8. I mean 6." Yeah. You know, and I right away I wanted to impress these older guys, right? Yeah. And then I just started seeing as I was growing up, I thought, something's going on over there. I don't know what it is, but I need to be over there.
Yeah.
Right. And
what were they doing? Like
they were doing drugs and
playing guitars, just hanging out in the garage.
Yeah, just hanging out in his room. You know, it was just one of those houses. It was like okay to go do your thing over there, right?
Yeah.
And I finally, made my way in and started doing what they do, getting high, and then a lot of those cats. My buddy who gave me my first rail of meth was shot and killed by the Santa Ana Police Department.
Oh, wow.
And he was just a wild guy, and that's the kind of people I hung out with. And he taught me a lot of that underground way of life with the meth world, and then I just was off and running from there. I've done every drug in the book. I started using heroin at the age of 18. I loved heroin and meth together, even though it doesn't make much sense. They're complete opposites, but we call them goofballs, and I just loved going up and down all day long, and I started just getting into the whole crime underground world, I'm not this crazy mafioso guy, but I started going to prison because of drug addiction,
Yeah.
And my first time I landed on the yard in California at the age of 21.
Shit.
And it was for like violation of probation,
That sucks.
and they're sending me to prison for
That's
that,
fucked up. Yeah.
And so here I am, learning that way. And I'm not about to be like a victim in there. So I'm like, what do we do around here? We stab people and we beat people up and we do what we have to do to survive, and you hang out with your own and all that fun stuff. So anyways, I started going in and out of that. And I was using, drugs at all times inside and outside of prison, right?
Yeah.
And in there's plenty of that.
Yeah.
And I just never was like, I always had learned about recovery, but I wasn't quite interested in what the whole going all in with, I hadn't been beat up enough. For a long time, this stuff was fun for me.
Yeah.
And I loved what the 90s produced as far as being in that scene. And but yeah, once I started kind of getting locked up and building a case, a jacket, the fun ended a long time ago for me, right? And it just started to kind of get pathetic. And I even ended up in Mexican prison in my life, and I was down in Tijuana fighting a federal case for transportation, and it was just that got kind of that whole story. I'm in Mexican prison in Tijuana. It's called La Mesa. And I'm looking at 6 years in federal prison in Mexico. And while I was in there, there's these guards going around passing out cigarettes, right? And if you want a free cigarette from a guard, they get to hit you over the back with a
stick.
with a stick.
Holy shit.
And I'm like, give me two.
Fuck, right.
Give me two. And the first hit over my back broke the stick, so I got to get 2 cigarettes for one, and I remember the whole prison's cheering, and that's just the kind of setting. It's literally like what Hollywood portrays what Mexican prison would be like, right? And I remember having to
fucking awesome. Breaking the stick. Sorry, bro. That's cool. That's pretty cool. Breaking a stick over his back on the first pop. He gets 2 smokes for the price of 1. That's a good story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I got lucky.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyways, in down there, you're anything under 5 years, you can bail out instead of doing your time. And luckily, they gave me 2 years, and I got to get out for $500 American and go home.
Wow.
But I wasn't allowed to go back to Mexico for 5 years.
Yeah.
I was on probation. Usually, you can't come here. I couldn't go there.
Yeah.
But anyways, I got back, and you think that would have been like a wake-up call. I was super grateful for about 72 hours.
Yeah.
Right? And then it's just back to what we know. There's nothing that scares me enough to stop doing drugs. And then near the end, I started getting into all the pill stuff, oxys and Xanax, and I was super strung out on pills. I had a bunch of dirty doctors and feeding me enough for 100 cancer patients, and I was taking most of them myself, and I got really bad. And near the end, I robbed a pharmacy. I was on about 10 Xanax bars, So anyways, I'm saying these extreme stories, not to impress anybody, but that's where drug addiction takes me.
Closer to the mic. Sorry. We got 2 fingers.
What's that?
2 fingers. We don't
Okay.
want there's an
Oh,
echo
you can
here.
pull it with
And you're a great speaker. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no worries.
I want it to be great.
Yeah. So I ended up robbing a pharmacy in Dana Point, right down the street from here, and I got luckily I got beat up by about 3 security guards and 2 civilians, and that saved me because the CVS was worried I was going to sue them for robbing their pharmacy.
Yeah.
Right. I guess if you get assaulted, they're not allowed to do that. But anyways, I'm grateful. I know now that was like my higher power working in my life. And I got 2 years for that and got to come back. And this last time I got arrested for a carton of heroin, and I got 16 months, and they sent me to prison for that. And back right during that time period is when the laws changed, where drug possession became a misdemeanor.
Yeah.
Prop 47.
Yeah.
Right. And I was one of the first inmates released on Prop 47. And they said, we're going to let you go home, but you need to go to a rehab as part of your conditions of parole. And I said, absolutely. Whatever you need me to tell you to let me out of prison, yes, I'll do that. Right. And I came home, and it was like I was 35 years old. I had, since the age of 14 to 35, I learned a little bit about recovery, but never knew anything about like taking it serious. And I've been in and out of rehabs, in and out of prisons. I had a couple of psych ward stays at the end, from staying up too long on meth. Shit got really weird.
Yeah.
And, my girlfriend literally called the psych ward on me and put me in there, and now I look back and I'm just grateful for all of this, and I love talking about these things because they shame my disease. And, a big tough guy like me doesn't like to say I've been to the psych ward, but I have. And that's where my mind goes, and this time when I hit this, I felt like I hit like a spiritual bottom for me. A physical bottom for me is death. Yeah. I can't hit low enough, right? But for me, when the mental started slipping and I was like kind of mentally unstable, for a guy like me is scary.
The weakness, you feel real weakness mentally when you're feeling like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's the word, is the weakness of like not being in control of my thoughts and thinking everybody in the room's like, look at this weirdo. Yeah, right. Yeah. And they probably weren't thinking anything. No, right. Sure. But we get so self-centered. Yeah. And then, anyways, so that was like a bottom for me where I'm like, you know what, Tyson, it's now or you're going to die. And, I just surrendered to the whole process of what everybody's been trying to teach me since I went to my first rehab at 16 years old at a hospital, adolescent hospital in Orange. And that's where I first learned that there's like another way out of this, what we suffer from, right? And anyways, that's when I got clean and sober at the age of 35. My sobriety date's January 13th, 2015. Nice. And super grateful for that. Lots of stories in between that I skipped over, but I think I definitely qualify as an addict, alcoholic. And that date is like the most important date in my life to me. Since then, the life that I've built around me by giving back and helping people, and taking this thing really serious, I know I'm exactly where I belong in this life right now as a soldier to help people recover from drug addiction.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
How'd you get into working in treatment?
The place I got clean and sober at, one day I was sitting in the admissions office, and I was like on job search, and the phone rang, and they said, hey, answer that phone for us and just say so-and-so recovery, and then see what happens. And I answered the phone, and I brought the person in for, I admitted them that day. And they go, do you want a job? So that was like another God shot situation where like I belong talking to addicts, right? Yeah. And then I was like, I love talking to addicts, man, because I'm one of them. They're the same as me. And when they're telling me my story every day. Right. So I knew that was like another, like, this is what you need to be doing, Tyson. And since then, I do everything I can to like be more available to being of service, right? Where I got certified as an interventionist. I'm on the board of a couple of nonprofit organizations. Anything to just create more of a community of like, call Tyson, right? Yeah. And it's just like an amazing deal that I'm a part of now.
That's good. You marketed yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You ended up marketing yourself, and now you have value to wherever you work, right? You have value to wherever you're at, because people call you
Absolutely.
looking for help.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
What about that? What do you think about that?
That's
Shane?
fucking the only way to do it, bro. You got to bring yourself self-value. That's the first thing they teach you in fucking recovery.
Yeah.
You know, put a dollar value onto your body.
It's
your
actually,
mind.
yeah. Well, I
Got
mean,
to.
it actually talks about it. It says we
Yeah.
in traditions, right? We become self-supporting through
Yeah.
our own contributions.
Yeah.
You know, whatever that means.
I liked how he called himself a soldier.
So I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am a soldier.
Yeah.
I am.
Definitely.
soldiers. You know, we were talking earlier a little bit about, I don't know about this hell in the afterlife, right? I'm not quite sure about that, right? Never seen it.
Yeah.
But I know about this hell in our society that we live on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And
It's
like
out there.
if I can help prevent people from going there, then that's pretty noble cause in my opinion.
It is.
And we are able to help prevent that hell on earth for
I hope
addicts.
I hope nobody ever has to go through the hell that I went through to get to where I am today.
Yeah.
You know, if I can prevent that,
Absolutely.
and you know, teach them to persevere and work hard without the pain,
Yeah.
because like the pain isn't enjoyable.
No.
You know, and I still have the pain, and I still remember the hell, and I mean, it's fine, it's great, but hopefully somebody doesn't have to go through what I went through, you know, to get where I am.
Right.
You don't have to.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what you got me thinking about now. That it's almost like we should be attacking the younger kids more.
Yeah, we got to
You know,
attack everybody.
Everybody.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, that's a working with adolescents. I've gotten kind of tapped into recently, where a buddy of mine owns an adolescent facility, and I go and pick them up and transport them back to the rehab, and it's just a cool deal, like getting to kind of spend a couple hours with them on the plane and kind of like it's gonna be okay, man.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of them are they're like in the stage of like it's not their fault at that moment, right? At that age that they're at, you know, it's kind of like they're victims of whatever circumstances going on.
A lot of mental health.
Yeah, a lot of mental health, a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
And it's like it's gonna be okay, dude.
Yeah.
You know, and it's very rewarding working with youth.
Yeah.
So I love doing that.
I mean, we I did my first line of meth at 13 years old too, and it was like, unfortunately, life changing.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't want to glorify it, but when I did that line of meth, everything in my life was okay all of a sudden.
Absolutely.
Like literally, I was like, why didn't somebody tell me about this before? Because all of the crap that went on in my life, the chubby Chad, just all of it
went away,
disappeared instantly. And I continued to do that for the next 10 years. And then
the first love of my life.
Yeah.
Crystal.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
They used to just call it speed.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
Bomb.
We used to call it the Mott's.
The Mott's.
Yeah, applesauce.
Yeah.
Because there was an applesauce commercial where the guy was like, hey, I heard that Joey's got the Mott's. And then this other person was like, Jimmy said Joey's got the Mott's. And, and that was the commercial. It was like literally like a fucking drug deal.
Yeah.
Drug deal.
Joey's got the shit. Let's go.
Joey had the shit.
Yeah.
He had the good stuff.
Go with Mikey. He'll try everything once.
Joey had the good applesauce.
Yeah.
He didn't have the bunk applesauce. Yeah. He didn't have the Ralph's brand.
He had the fire.
He had the fire. He had the Mott's. So then we started calling it the Mott's.
That's also good for law enforcement avoiding too, right?
Yeah. And then we had a friend who's who his name was Thomas, but we started calling him Tomots because he always had the Mott's.
He always had the shit.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You could go over there to Mott's.
Yeah. Just be taken care of.
Yeah.
Man.
Started smoking it at like 15.
Wow.
Me too.
Like how many 15-year-olds
I don't know any.
smoke speed?
No.
Dude, I was awake my whole high school years.
Wow.
Yeah, me too.
Like sneaking back in at 5 a.m. every morning to my high school.
Crazy.
I remember
before
just
my
like
dad
being
woke
in
up.
my room, just like twacked out all night long. Just like, I never woke up for school. I was already up.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'd fall asleep. I had this crazy meditation.
You would fake like you're asleep,
all
right?
the time.
The eyes going like this.
Fucking, I had this meditation,
Meditation?
tape that I could listen to, and sometimes it would make me almost fall asleep. But I always, every night before I went to bed, or laid down, I chalked two big rails on this mirror.
So when you got up,
As soon as I got up, I just rolled over and just.
Your wake up.
That was my way. And as it got better, later on in life, I would have a loaded syringe right next to me.
That's where it ends if you're all in. Yeah.
Yeah, I was all in.
Yeah.
I never, I didn't really do heroin. I didn't like heroin. The few times that I did heroin, I just like heaved, like just
Really?
threw up. But
That's usually how it starts. Yeah. You got to you got to keep going. You got to stay
Yeah.
strong.
Perseverance, bro.
Gotta get past that.
I didn't enjoy that, and it was so much like Valium was so much better for me, or a benzodiazepine. My preference was Valium, but if you had Xanax or Ativan or
Sure.
whatever, that would have been my leveler.
Your sleeping pill.
Yeah, because otherwise, I'd be up for 15 days working for the FBI for a couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Not the FBI. Why do I always say that?
CIA, bro.
I hated
Yeah.
the FBI. The
FBI's kind of minor leagues
Yeah.
once you're really deep into the conspiracy, right?
Oh,
We're talking
yeah.
NSA.
Yeah, like I actually was an off book CIA agent that nobody knew about.
One time I was so deep into my conspiracy, I thought I was a lab rat for one of them 3-letter organizations,
Yeah.
right? And I thought, do I have health insurance through them?
Yeah.
Because I've been working for them for so many years,
Yeah.
and I'm looking up federal health insurance,
Yeah, good times.
employer plan.
Yeah, good times. Yeah. It's just it's an unbelievable drug. It's unbelievable what happens to your mind when you don't eat or drink or sleep.
Absolutely,
Right about the third, fourth day.
that's when the fun starts.
And I would just want to keep going, man.
Oh.
I would work, and eventually you do have to eat, right? But I had this connection.
Jack in the Box taco.
Mine was I couldn't leave my house most of the time because I was fucking straight psychotic, right? I had this guy. I would call the Pizza Hut man, and he would, and I thought the guy that was dropping it off was a straight
In on it?
Too?
No, I thought he was Mexican mafia. I thought because I thought the Mexican mafia owned everything in San Juan.
You give him the
Capistrano.
nod, like we're good.
Yeah, well, I'd give him like $100 tip. And I was
yeah,
like wondering why this guy every time he saw my order come in, he was like, "I got this one." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, it's you again, huh?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I would just give him the nod. The dude must have known I was psychotic, man.
No clue. No clue.
Yeah.
These normie guys with a job at Pizza Hut, no chance.
Dude, this wasn't a normal guy.
No.
No, he was a paisa. He knew what was going on. in this world.
yeah. If he was a paisa.
He probably
He knew.
sold drugs on the side.
Yeah.
At least that's what I thought.
God.
Anyways, I'd order like a meat lover's pizza. I'd get so psychotic that I couldn't even eat the fucking. And I'm not gonna eat I didn't want just a cheese pizza. I wanted the meat. I wanted I start to see the souls of the cows on the fucking.
Fuck.
Oh,
And then
dude.
I couldn't eat the damn.
Now we're
pizza.
talking, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was deep.
Like-
That's deep.
Shit would go down.
That's real. So the cows were walking on the pizza. The cow souls were walking on the
Yeah,
pizza.
they'd be
fucking
floating right above
floating
it,
right
man.
above.
They're like, don't do
above
us
it.
like this, Chad.
Yeah.
Chad, don't eat me.
They'd be
Don't eat
talking to me like,
Chad.
yeah, if you eat the souls,
Stay away. Wow.
The Hindu religion's cracking into that one.
Up. That's the first time I heard that one.
yeah, man.
Yeah, that's straight crazy.
Is it
That's straight crazy.
crazy?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Straight crazy.
It's not crazy when you can jump into your iPhone and become a
Wow,
digital
that's
person.
a little, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
the cows, the souls of the cows, you don't eat that's.
And you know what's crazy is there's probably was some truth to it,
right.
right?
There probably was. Now it was. I mean, there was a point in this insanity on my last run, the run that you mentioned outside.
Yes.
that last run, there was a spiritual warfare going on.
Absolutely.
Like I had Jesus and the devil in my bedroom at the same time,
Duking it out.
duking it out for me.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
And I'm telling you, man, like the devil put up a really good fight because what he was offering was you know, it looked fun. It looked exciting.
Yeah.
But this was happening right on my last days, and I was literally like at death's door when I finally a bail agent kicked in my front
Absolutely.
door. But
got rescued.
But Jesus' side was so much more peaceful, because the devil's side was people just making fun of me all the time, you know. But there was a lot of sex. There was a lot of sex over there, and it looked really inviting.
Yeah.
You had sex on meth?
No. Nobody wanted to have sex.
Mentally, he was making.
I wanted to have sex, but nobody wanted to have sex with me because I was crazy as fuck. Like, dude, Jesus and the devil were in the house.
Yeah.
Can you just be quiet while we do this?
Can you imagine trying to have sex in front of Jesus Christ? It's a little awkward.
That's much.
Huh?
It's much awkward.
And in front of those cows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Could you imagine talking to people? Get out of here. Get out.
I remember one time
Get off my shoulder.
I was still married to my ex-wife, and I had been on a little bit of a run, and we had some massage therapists come over, and like there was like weird shit going on.
Shit in your head.
Yeah, and I couldn't. I just like I had to stop the massage immediately. I was like, I'm tripping out right now. I'm sorry, guys. Guys are, and it was somebody I knew. It was like my friends that like worked at like the Ritz-Carlton, like those kind of massage therapists.
And you need to leave.
You actually told me.
I was like, you guys got to go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets ugly.
It does, man.
Yeah.
But that's like the insanity of it. Like, I like to talk about the insanity because like you could be in the depths of hell and you can pull yourself out of it, and you can persevere in life.
One of the biggest promises, step 2, being restored to sanity.
Yeah.
When I started seeing that, it's just like that was like one of the biggest gifts immediately for me, where the conspiracy was fucking over, man. You know, and that was an amazing gift to feel.
You know, and I do hope that everybody works the steps. Like I recommend whether you stay a stepper, you know, some people don't. I don't. I don't go to meetings. But I have worked all 12 steps.
More than once.
Multiple times. I worked all 12 traditions.
Nice.
That's the program right there.
It improves your life.
It improves your life in so many ways. It changes your perception, you know, which changes your mindset, you know. And then from there, I do nothing but fill my brain with positive, good stuff.
Absolutely.
I no longer fill my mind with garbage.
Yeah.
What you think, that's what you become.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So tell us about the fuck fentanyl movement, because we're all about it.
Yeah.
You know, ours came up really strong when I lost my son-in-law, and it's just like everything's been. I started hashtagging fuck fentanyl.
How long ago was that?
9/11.
That's right. I appreciate you sharing that with me this weekend.
Yeah.
And rest in peace to him. What was his name?
Justin.
Rest in peace to Justin, man. So it's been about 3 months now. The recovery center I work for, we have a huge community up in Los Angeles. Is it okay to plug my recovery center? We're called Stairway Recovery, and we're in San Fernando Valley in Woodland Hills. A good friend of mine I was in prison with is the founder of this recovery center.
Oh, nice.
We were on the yard together, and his name is Michael Lynch, and he started Stairway, and it started as a little sober living home, and then it turned into, you know, we have about 11 sober livings now and a huge outpatient. But anyways, the community there, we're really big on recovery there, and working steps, getting a sponsor, getting into action. And we've had, you know, hundreds and hundreds of people coming through our program. A lot of them stay in the community and they help others, right? Yeah. And recently we had back-to-back deaths, you know, and we lost a good friend. His name was Bill Jericho, and he's like a miracle. He was like on intervention. He was that guy out of that area of Pennsylvania that has like those zombies walking around in videos.
Yeah, I've watched that.
Yeah, he was like one of those guys, right?
Yeah.
I forgot the name of that town, but Kensington. Yeah, Kensington, Pennsylvania. He was one of those guys, and he had a miracle story, got himself out, but he something happened and he got back, you know, and he relapsed one time, we think, maybe twice, and he died.
Yeah.
And anyways, and then another friend who just did about 18 years in prison, right? This guy was like the real deal up in Pelican Bay, and his name was Michael Kelly. And he got out, and he was on board with the magic of recovery. You can tell he really was like, had the true peace going. He was working a program, and then he had a slip up, right? And he died from his slip up, you know? And it's just like, I don't know, the universe hit me at the time it was supposed to hit me. And I was like, you know what? I know I have like I have a lot of following on social media with like some of the organizations I'm involved with. And I'm like, I need to put the word out. We need to make a dent in this fucking epidemic, man. And my thing is, we've had enough. That's my my hashtag I like to put on my post, you know. And what I did is I started with a video, and I looked at the camera and I went, fuck you, fentanyl, you know, or I said, fuck fentanyl, right? And then a thing came to me. I put on my new page, because I had like 1,000 followers the first day, and I put on my page, if you can make a video saying fuck fentanyl, I think it really empowered me when I did it. It gave me like a healing on the inside when I did it, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, go ahead, you know, if you've lost a loved one or you want to support this movement. And I got like 50, 60 videos the first day of people saying fuck fentanyl, you know, and a lot of them had like a little thing where they said, you took my sister, you took my mom, you took my dad, you took my brother, you took my son, you took my daughter, you know, and it was so genuine, you know. It was like, really, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it, man. It was like people were like, are hurting so bad from the loss of their loved ones, you know. And it was like, needs to be one of the most important things in our society right now. How do we help prevent people from overdosing on fentanyl, man? You know, and how do we make at least a little bit of an impact to trying to maybe change some laws in Washington, D.C. or our borders or something? But you know what? I'm fucking sick of this, man.
Yeah.
You know, and what do we need to do? So I just started with just like that, right? And like people were messaging me saying how good it felt to be able to tell the thing that took their loved one away. Like, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
You know, and then a lot of them were like, hey, you know what? If you're dealing it, fuck you too.
Yeah.
You know, and I agree with that,
I
right?
do too.
Yeah. And I understand when you're out there, like now it's a thing where like back when, you know, I sold drugs in my past, right? Like, but I didn't think like everybody I'm handing this to is
Potential
probably going to
death.
fucking die.
Potential anyways.
You know, maybe 1 out of 10,000, you know?
Right. It was different.
But
now
an
it truly
overdose.
was different.
Yeah.
But still, like I still feel bad for the horrible shit that I did when I was out there. You know, I destroyed people's lives. People may not have died, but man, their lives were not good because of me. You know, and they may still not be good because of things that I did to people out there.
I'm responsible for many lives like that too.
Yeah, and today it's like
turning them on to something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
you've seen what happens to our friends,
time.
Right? Yeah. If you're the first
like
timer,
I'm the guy that has given these people drugs,
or the devil,
or I shot them up the first time. And, you know, they just had dabbled and they knew that I was doing it. And it's like what? Oh man,
Satan was smiling on those days, right?
Destroy people's lives, man. And
We don't know.
I know. I do know. I know. People,
Not 100%.
We don't know what
their
lives were. Hopefully, they're
not.
not still destroyed. But what I can do today to change
Yeah,
that
man,
is
you've
not
given
destroy.
that back. Yeah,
you know, I've given it back.
You've given it
That's
back.
how you make it right.
Yeah.
Living amends, right?
Continue doing it on a daily basis.
I like to think those people found God, or they had a way out, or God led them to there, no matter what.
Yeah, whatever
They
it
had
was.
their
God,
thing.
it was part. It was all part
of it.
Part of the plan.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah.
You know, but my guilt from that to keep myself from having guilt from the things that I have done in my past. I am, when anybody's life that I come in contact with, I make their lives better today.
Yeah.
Even if it's somebody I don't know in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
You know, just
especially
a smile.
Yeah.
You know, hold the door open for them.
Something.
How are you?
And all of our affairs.
All of our affairs.
Yeah.
Yep. All the shit that I learned how to, you know, this person that I've learned how to be is because of the 12-step program.
Absolutely.
Well, I liked what you were saying because, like, that we started this because this podcast because of the fentanyl, and this is a movement, like you were just saying. This isn't a podcast. It's not a and all, as I've gone through this, things keep coming up, like new stuff that we've added to our lives. Like, we no longer recover anonymously.
Yeah,
we recover out loud. And some of the anonymous people might not like that, but I don't really care. Because we're trying to save lives.
Well, as long as you're not mentioning their first and last name, that's all the traditions talk about. You can say whatever you want out loud for yourself.
And I don't say their program's name if I'm
talking
we try
about
not
the 12s.
to anyways. Yeah.
Occasionally,
we try not to,
because if I speak the program of Narcotics Anonymous when I speak program language, because that's what I grew up with. In 1996, I walked into my first meeting. So, like, I can recite the readings to you, from memory, from many, many years. But at the same time, I respect the traditions, and I don't want to embarrass anybody if something happens and I get loaded.
Yeah,
it's not. It's
I understand that why they want Then they're like, oh well, he was a Narcotics Anonymous
look
guy.
At him, it doesn't work
exactly.
And somebody, and it might that person. But here's the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth, because in Alcoholics Anonymous, book literature, it says we only we barely know anything.
Yes.
I'm not word. That's not word for word.
We know only a little.
We know only a little.
Yeah.
Well, it's fucking 2023. We know a little bit more, than we used to. We don't know everything, but we know a little bit more. And the truth is that people do relapse. I could relapse, but we only have 24 hours in a day.
We don't have time to wait for them to relapse anymore.
We do not.
We need to get
time.
the fucking word out. And if anybody has a problem with that, fuck them.
And it's okay to it's okay to fall down in the public eye too, because you know what, you can get back up and persevere.
Everybody loves a comeback story, right?
Hell yeah, that's American. That's the
Robert Downey Jr. Baby,
baddest actor on the planet now. For quite some time after his public fall, he rose right back to the top. He's still on top.
Still on top.
He doesn't make he doesn't make a lot of movies anymore.
No,
it's because he's already got paid.
Oh fuck yeah, he got paid. He's still getting
paid.
He's still getting paid.
Yeah.
Avengers just came. He just did it. What do you mean?
Oh, he did the Avengers.
So.
He's still doing his thing.
Yeah, he's still doing.
He's A-list.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's A.
Yeah.
He's A plus.
A plus.
Yeah, I love that.
He picks and chooses.
You got to get him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a fucking score.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start today.
How are you gonna do that?
I'm just gonna start
You
wedging away.
you have to have a PR rep that knows his PR rep.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only way you get to people like him. Through other people.
Or you give to one of his foundations.
Yeah.
You can get him for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going after them. Them,
those fuckers,
the government,
whoever they are,
to force change at the highest level. Here's the thing. I don't know if I said this to you over the weekend, but there's a lot of addicts and alcoholics out there. And, whether we're all on, whether it doesn't matter with addicts and alcoholics, which side of the political arena we are in. When we want to come together for a movement, like stop killing our youth movement, stop, get rid of this fentanyl from coming across our borders. We can be 40 million people strong.
Exactly.
40 million plus.
Yeah. We need to put political, religious, all of that stuff aside and come together.
Come together. So that's part of this podcast too. Is like, man, I want to bring this broken ass country back together.
Let's go.
I'm so tired of hearing. We have allowed the news media
it's fucked up.
And our politicians to divide us. And do you think that I am so stupid that I don't realize that
they really do think we're that stupid?
That a divided country is a weak country, and that they're all sitting up in Washington together, laughing at us, counting
their money.
Yeah, they're the ones that start the racist comments And when I say that, they're the ones that trying to divide the black people from the white people,
of course,
the Democrat and the LGBTQ community from
LGB.
from the Republicans.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not true. Republicans actually respect and love the LGBT community, and that's a fact.
Yeah.
So it's the government that is trying to
100%.
divide us, along with the news media.
Yeah.
And I mean, look at what we got now.
What
we have ability to have our own media now
right.
because of social media.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's actually where some of the most truth's coming out of, right?
Yep.
If it's unregulated and they're not being paid to say it,
Yep.
then you're getting a lot truer facts.
Yep.
And we need to put aside, because what you find now, even when I have this fuck fentanyl campaign going on, I'll see in my comments on posts, they start getting into the politics side of things. We got to close the borders. We got to, like, you need to leave all of that aside and come together for one common goal, right? How do we prevent people from fucking dying?
Yeah.
And I understand that everybody we got to start there. We got to, but don't try not to, we got to make sure we don't. Because then the other people go, I don't want to be part of that.
I don't want to be part of it. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, we almost have to make traditions. We should almost write traditions for this fuck fentanyl campaign, right?
Yeah.
So nobody can ruin it.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna let it. I'm gonna. I'm going to. I won't stop, and I'm gonna let it manifest itself. However it's going to manifest itself, but I'm going to constantly be telling people, let's come together.
Yeah.
Let's come together. I want to hear what you have to say, because it's like politically people, they have this side, right? And they're like, this is what we need to do. And I'm not sitting up here saying this is what we need to do. I'm asking, what more can we do as a community?
I love that. That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I have idea. Yeah, I know something we could do.
Right.
You could send. And this is just being an extremist and outlandish, right? But and this isn't the answer. I'm just being you could send the military down there
100%.
and
fucking A.
and
invade
go
disassemble the cartel.
Yeah, disassemble the cartel. You could do
in
that
a fucking day.
In a day.
Yeah.
It would take one day.
If they wanted to, they would.
Yeah. It would take
Right.
one day. Yeah, if they wanted to, they would. But that's not the point. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to bring the community back together, and then we come up with ideas together, and something that might work. Actually, if we came together, and everybody's like, "Hey, we're on board with this.
Yeah.
This is what we're on board with," and and we're like, "Hey, you guys," and we're sitting in Washington D.C. What are they going to do? They're going to have to listen to us.
Absolutely. We the people.
Yeah. We the people. That's the one. Hey, you know that. What is
First
that
three
from,
letters
of what?
First three letters of the Declaration of Independence. No.
The U.S. Constitution.
U.S. Constitution. That's it.
1776.
Yeah.
The first
I
three
failed the
letters
first time.
are. Yeah, he
the
failed.
first
He's
time.
Canadian.
I became American about
He's American
3-4
now.
years ago.
But
Congratulations.
Thanks, bro. It took me twice. I called Chad, but he didn't know the answer either. Chad, what's the first three letters? I don't know. Chad.
the U.S. Constitution.
Yeah.
We the people.
We the people. I didn't know.
And we're divided. We are not the people.
Well, here's the thing, though. When you talk about coming together for fuck fentanyl or any movement, when the people come together, you're bringing God, you're bringing love, like you're bringing other things than fuck fentanyl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like you're coming together as a community, and there's a lot of disruption out there right now in the world, a lot of hate, and no God,
Yeah. No spirituality.
no spirituality.
If you keep it that way, because that's the one thing I love about Alcoholics Anonymous
Yeah.
is what they did with the, it doesn't matter,
Right.
That's the most amazing thing anybody's
Yeah.
ever done in our society.
Yep.
Yeah.
That took them from everybody else to,
Yep.
that was the biggest humble gift Bill W. ever did, was get the fuck out of the way and say, we need to make sure everybody has a chance to have a part of this.
Yeah.
Just believe.
And everybody
something.
needs a chance to have a part of this of America.
Yeah. Exactly.
Of America.
That's what I was trying to say. And that's what we're fighting for, because we're losing that. We're losing that.
Absolutely.
What America used to be,
So
daily routine.
no, I want to give him a chance, because it's 1 o'clock. Oopsie. I'm literally texting everything
Everything you talk,
Yeah.
you talk to texting.
Yeah, it's talks.
Are you talk to texting?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I never heard you talk though. You just pushed the button by accident.
Apparently, I pushed the button.
All right. A brief musical interlude here. We're gonna be singing a little bit of country song.
I wanted to just give you the opportunity to just speak your piece. Tell the community, our community,
Yeah.
About yourself. Just wrap it up, close it up, shut us down.
Right.
Shane?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you guys having me on your program. It's an honor and a privilege when I get to discuss these matters in any kind of setting for myself. I get excited about this. Every day I wake up, even though I've been, doing this stuff for multiple years now, I still feel like a newcomer, excited about life. This is something that I'm a part of one day at a time for the rest of my life. And it's my passion. It's what I bleed, I sweat, I breathe recovery. It's what I've been taught. It's the center of my universe. And 100%, it's most important over anything in my life, because if it's not, then I lose all those things in my life that I've been able to get because of God and recovery.
Gone, just like that.
Gone. And nothing comes before it. And to be able to have a piece of this epidemic of fentanyl, if there's anybody out there struggling, you're not alone. You don't have to die alone. And that there's people here that really care about your life. Whether or not you have $0 to your name, it doesn't matter. There's no economical standing with us. We just really want to help prevent you from dying. And if you've had enough, please reach out for help. You don't have to do this alone. And your mind is going to try and convince you and isolate you and say you're a piece of shit, you deserve to die. Fuck, nobody cares. And that is an absolute fucking lie. We do care. We want to help save your life. And reach out and even start with somebody. Call somebody.
How do they get you? How do they call you? How do they get a hold of you?
If you want to call me, I'll give you my personal cell number, 949-836-7180. I will help give you some kind of resource to a whatever community you're a part of, whether you're in Afghanistan or you're in Garden Grove or you're in Newark, New Jersey. Give me a call and I'll help. We'll walk you through it and we'll figure something out together, and that's where I'm at.
Nice.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. Just open to anybody. That's it. Nice. Thanks, bro.
Thanks for having me, you guys.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming in, man.
Right on. Boom.